Okay, hey. Wow. This was a project to get done. We have a lot of people in here today, and this is going to be actually, fun. This is going to be a holiday type thing. We got some other content creators coming in, and you know what? We're just going to shoot the shit, drink coffee, drink beer, drink alcohol, and just kind of go over the. I don't know what we're even going to do yet. It's going to be more like I think we talk about content creator stuff, but I got the Shills with us today. If you guys know what the Shills are, they have a YouTube channel. Not very big, which is surprising because they've been around a while, and I don't know how they don't have at least 5,000 subs yet. But we'll get them there. We're gonna help. Link is in the video description. Go sub to them if you're not already. But I'm gonna try to describe them before they kind of jump in because they're kind of a conglomeration of critical thinkers, debunkers, skeptics, debunking woo-woo peddler type stuff. But they really do a good job and they're fun at it, and they've got a hell of a lot of creativity, more than I've got, because they actually have like cool graphics, which I don't. But anyways, we got Bullinator here who's not producing for a change. So Bull, who's technically, I don't know, are you technically part of the Shills? I mean, you kind of are and you kind of aren't. I mean, do they accept you as one? Okay. I will have to ask them. But we got Amy, we got Dick Kennedy of Space, we got Dick Dawson, and Logical Troglodyte. Anybody else I'm missing hiding in the background? Because it doesn't show everybody. Who else we got? Oh, yeah, we got Taddy. So, okay, Taddy, I heard him. I knew I heard him earlier. Who else we got? Because it doesn't show everything. Oh, I knew we got Dick. We got Dick. We always have Dick. Yeah. Copernicus Thinker, $10 super sticker. Yay. #1 fan. Thank you, Copernicus Thinker. I appreciate your support. I do get your messages, Copernicus, your emails. Thank you. Yeah, by the way, let me tell you guys now, this is not safe for work. If you guys know any of these people in here, yeah, this is not safe for work environment. Oh, they can't hear you? Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I can fix that. Magic of audio, because I have an actual producer in here. Now they can hear you. Take it away. Say something.
Hello. So what do we got going on here now? I think Dave was coming up now. Can he be heard finally?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can hear you now. Yeah, I can turn it up. Don't worry. I got this. Why, Dave. They can hear you now, Dave.
Smitty figures you're hallucinating.
I'm waiting to see if it comes through. Okay.
That's okay, man.
Okay, they're coming through.
Wassa 2000. What about Bull? Well, we're going to find that out in a second here. Bull.
Yes, I think we are.
Oh, now it's very loud? What do you want? Did you say turn it up? I should
Welcome to my world.
Daddy's laughing at me doing it.
Oh, I'm fucking loving this, man.
Oh, it's too loud. Okay, I got you. So how is this? Is this better? Like this? Here. Now, Dave, talk.
How are we sounding now?
I took all the gain off.
You want me to talk?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll talk. There once was a man from Nantucket. Okay, never mind. I won't go there.
Now I took the gain off. I'm sorry. I thought I took the gain off. I did not, because I have to put 10 gain on. I have the same problem Chesh has. When we use Skype, I got to use a 10 dB gain. When we don't, I don't use it. So now it should be much better. Correct? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm an ear raper. Much better. Very good.
I sound overdriven.
Perfect.
Smooth as butter, they think now.
Yeah, you know what, Dick? Let me hear your voice. Let me hear that smooth Dick voice.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Dick Dawson from the Shills, doing a little mic check for Steve.
Awesome. You just want to cream over that, don't you? Just kind of like makes you moist. So if they can hear Bull, they can definitely hear you. So anyways, Dick, since you're kind of the spokesperson of the group, tell people what the hell the Shills is, because it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, we were originally just a group of smaller little YouTubers that came together and thought, a nice little group roundtable show would be a good thing to do, do some live debunking. And then it came to be a guest show right away. You were involved with one of the first episodes when there was the screw up, right? And and so it turned into a guest live debunking show. And we played with the format a little bit here and there, but for the most part, we just tear into the dumbest crap we can find. And as much as we're debunking, it's really about entertainment, comedy, point and laugh. You are a moron type stuff.
Yeah, and you're never going to run out of material. That's the funniest thing. It's like you've got such a niche that You're never just well. I guess Drunken Peasants kind of does similar things, calling people out. But I mean, you guys, just the fuckery is outstanding out there. I mean, generally you guys stick with the flat Earth stuff. I get that, but other than the flat Earth, what's your favorite thing to actually like try to talk shit about?
Well, I think we should get Logical Troglodyte in for this
Awesome.
one. We better start passing
love
this around,
Troglodyte.
because if I say too much, they'll be screaming at me in the background.
right, Trog,
Let's
what you
get
got for us?
Logic here.
Don't be blaming me for shit. I didn't do it. Trog is innocent. So what was it you wanted me to
which flat
comment
Earth?
about, Steve?
Besides flat Earth, what do you actually like trying to dismantle?
Oh, pretty much any kind of woo peddler that's just fucking out there, like the Octarian starseed, the aliens trying to bring us to a higher level of vibrational spirituality bullshit, and the whole, free energy and crystals, and pretty much any woo that has no real basis in reality.
I had an uncle. Well, he wasn't my real uncle. One of those friends of the family uncles, and not the kind that touch you. I didn't have one of those.
Yeah.
I was a real ugly child, so I didn't have to worry about that. But I had an uncle that he had these things, these pyramids, and you'd put razor blades underneath them, and he thought that actually kind of kept them sharp.
Yeah, of course that's going to work better than a whetstone, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I was a kid back then, so I'm sure he could never explain the mechanism by which that occurred. But yeah, I mean, you always got one in every family, kind of thing, right? That one crazy uncle, But yeah, there's like the was it the argon energy? Remember that thing?
Oh yeah,
in World War II, they were trying to chase this. The Nazis were trying to chase this energy or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that recently on one of those strange pseudo documentary shows. Absolute hilarious the way they dramatized it. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
funny you just brought it
I
up.
barely remember something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of woo-woo stuff. I also I'm ashamed to admit this, but do you guys want confession time? You may not like me afterwards. You may not. Okay, so confession time. I'm going to hate myself for this. I'm never going to let this down. I used to help out at a metaphysical bookstore with crystals.
Oh, wow. I cannot believe it.
Well, did you get paid?
No.
Were there any crystal balls? That's my question.
No, there was without a crystal ball. Nope.
Hey, if it kept you in some bologna and cheese sandwiches and you didn't starve to death, I don't see a problem as long as you didn't fall into the rabbit hole. But if you did,
I started to a
welcome
little
back
bit.
to reality.
No, I mean, I was young. Look, we all go through a phase, right? I mean, I read like books like Search of Ancient Astronauts and Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Däniken, and I didn't like, oh, I believe this, but I was like, wow, there's a face on Mars. How do you explain this? I didn't have the critical thinking skills I have now. I was a kid, Don't blame me.
I think probably a lot of us, whether we want to admit it or not, went through a phase in our younger years where we did explore all those sorts of situations and ideas and philosophies and theologies, which is why we can actually be good critical thinkers and effective debunkers today.
I think so too. I think you go through the learning experience. By the way, I turned my mic up a little bit, so hopefully it'll all be balanced now. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we all go through these stages and we live and learn from it, right? If I didn't have that understanding of that stuff back then to know how to kind of get out of it, I probably wouldn't be as decent debunker that I am today. Even though I'm not your guys' league, but I'm okay. But speaking of debunkers, I really want to get Dead Kennedy in space in here because he was actually nominated to be on the panel for Dumb Fuck of the Year. Yay!
Mm-hmm,
We brought him. I mean, that's impressive. I gotta admit, yeah, that's nice.
Thank you. That made me feel really special to be in with that group. That was super awesome. Speaking of confessions, I can make one for myself that kind of adds to the point we're making here.
Is it going to involve you killing somebody? Because I don't want to hear about that.
I used to be a moon hoaxer.
Oh.
Like when I was a teenager, like 15, 16, I knew all the talking points and I didn't think any further. And eventually I started looking more into it and realized every talking point I knew had perfectly reasonable explanations.
I feel like I just got kicked in the balls.
Don't you just want to put his head on your shoulder and just I mean, like, really? Oh man, I'm gonna need a moment to process that, but we'll get over it. We'll get over it.
Yes, and especially when you consider the weapon that Kevin Kennedy carries in the debunking community. Like, anybody speaks anything, and he's got his angle. He knows exactly what to come at you with, and you are going to be left as a puddle of useless, screaming nothing. And as soon as he's done with you, so to hear that, I mean, holy, that's like saying, you know what? Roadrunner was actually born with leg braces and couldn't walk for the first 3 years. You know,
We have a Puddle, but a Puddle's my mod, by the way. That's you guys know him.
That's true, right?
Yeah. But people are asking why so many downvotes. Do you see who we have on between my trolls and the Shills trolls? They've joined forces.
It's going to be weaponized madness in no time.
Yeah, you never know, right? Between the whole the GDC trolls and the flat Earth trolls, and I mean, this is what they do, which is okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. But we got 188 people watching and only 57 likes. I know you guys can get that higher, but let them come over. At least they're watching. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind them popping over to check us out because you know,
because the video
as
description,
we
go
know,
troll
it's
them.
always fair play.
Yeah,
you
go
know,
troll. You heard it from Dick. Don't ignore Dick.
And we have a few. We have a few kilograms of butthurtium left in the Shills lair to lace our logic missiles with. So if we end up with a few butthurt trolls, that's fine too.
Yeah, they don't really go after you guys. You guys are too big a number in force. I mean, not so much like, you know, your subscribers, which, by the way, I think you will have one of these days very quickly. But I think the overall combined brain power, what the fuck are they going to do, right?
Yeah, and in any situation, we're sort of like a pack of wolves in a way. Like, you know, you pick a fight with us when we're live, and you've got 8 people jumping down your throat. It doesn't end well. You know, it just doesn't work.
And what's weird is, you know, I have this reputation with people, and yet I loved all you guys. I don't think there's a single show. There was one person involved in the shows. We're not going to mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. But other than that, but whatever. But as far as the shows, you guys were all great. You guys were very kind. You guys were congenial. Setting it up was a cakewalk. I mean, God, when you try to do guest stuff, and you know, people invite you on your channels, and they just fuck it up all to hell. It's annoying. It really is. But you guys are pros, man. Pro.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I know the real brains behind it, Dick. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dick.
Thanks.
No, I wasn't referring to you, but
you know,
okay.
we made a big conscious effort in the beginning to make sure that, you know, we made those kind of things easy and simple. And what we did was we made it harder on us to make sure it was better for everybody else. But in the end, it's really worked out, right?
That's the way it should be. But I was thinking about the actual brains. The only one here with boobs that I can say now because we're on air. It's not pre-show, so it's not harassment. I'm not talking about you, Dick Kennedy. Amy! I call her the laugh bot. I swear to God, he put her at a quarter.
I know.
She fucking just goes for like an hour.
I could.
He has a loyal legion of followers as well, let me tell you.
Exactly.
She sets all this stuff up. But she's like the real... come on, admit it. You're the brains behind all this, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Man. I'll try to be humble.
So tell people, what is your thing that you do for the Shills?
For the Shills, I do some booking in the background, and I'm sort of just... by nature, I just took over the clerical parts of the show in the background, and I help with the modding of the chat, and I get to read off all the questions and comments that come through.
And I love that because you
I help
voice
book
for
the
it.
shows.
I love when you do the questions.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's just like people listen. They're like, I want to hear her. I don't care what the hell you're asking. So, you know, ask me what 2 + 2 is. I don't care as long as she's saying it. We're like, okay. You had a calm, soothing voice, right?
I had Amy read me a shopping list the other night just to keep her talking.
He did too.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'll buy milk, yogurt, fresh fruits and vegetables.
Oh, it's heavenly, man! I'm telling you.
But does she have a smug?
The milk. You definitely need a gallon of milk and a smug.
You guys know the story of the smug?
Oh, that's awesome.
You know the story behind
it? I don't think I know the full story.
This was because Matt Dillahunty, who's on Eighth Experience with a couple trolls actually, which is kind of funny. But he's on the Eighth Experience, and he called me smug once, and Cheshire made this cup, and it just kind of ran. So because Matt
Is
doesn't.
it just me, or does that mug look like the Shroud of Turin?
Yeah, right. I'm serious.
Yeah, it does,
I think there was a
actually.
Jesus thing.
It
Yeah,
does.
no, I caught that. I think Tush channeled her inner Jesus there.
Yeah, yeah, that totally goes with the a holy pope and whatnot.
Right,
I
the
love
Holy
it.
Pope,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
It
Because
makes perfect sense. We've got 2/3 of the Trinity here. We have the face of God and actual God, but we don't have the voice of God.
yeah, that would be
I will be
Sean
the
Hufford,
voice
yeah.
of God.
We are the Holy Trinity. Bully and
Austin's
myself.
the voice of Jesus,
Sean,
so
that's
we're
the
good.
God, the voice
Oh,
of
it's
God.
Scottish.
Yeah. But somebody asked me,
Good
about
Scottish
Matt
accent.
Dillahunty. This is from Matt Dillahunty, man. Thank you, Matt. But yeah, I don't see eye to eye with Matt because Matt doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about sometimes, and he won't admit that he's wrong. People say that about me, but I can demonstrate it. Hi, Matt. That's the difference. And by the way, my fans know this too now. They're like, Steve's right. Yeah, okay. So
Awesome.
I'm actually gonna be in Texas. I'm going to be doing a lot of arguments that I run, daily, in book club, Atheist Christian Book Club on the 3rd in Dallas, Texas. They've invited me to do a atheist epistemological seminar, so to speak. It's going to be on like how do we know things, why do we know things, and agnosticism. And Aaron Ra was the last person I had. Richard Carrier, Dr. Rich Carrier before them. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm really honored because
So, Steve,
I like that kind of stuff.
Yo,
I
you're
also
gonna
like
get
showing Matt
right
that he's
into
wrong
that.
because I'm smug. What?
I can't
so
wait.
Steve, can I ask you a question? Because
Yes, sir.
this is something I want to make sure I'm correct on. Because I call myself an agnostic, but I want to make sure I technically am one.
Okay.
I don't believe in the Christian God or in the God of any organized religion, but I accept the possibility that there is something undefinable that we could call God.
Okay. Do you want the long answer or the short, which is going to end up being long anyways? Yes, do that.
Up to you.
All right. Forget everything you just said. None of that's applicable. Okay. None of that's applicable because you're not talking about having the possibility. What the question is this: do you hold in your mind right now a belief that there's a God?
No.
Okay, so you're not a theist, right?
Okay.
Do you hold in your mind right now the belief that there are no gods?
But there are no gods.
Yeah. Do you hold that belief that gods are no? Look, my cup exists. Here it is, my cup. Right.
Right.
You believe that cup exists, right?
Right.
Okay. If I said, hey, I have a cup in my hands, and I say, look, I have a cup in my hands, and you say, Steve, I believe that you do not have a cup in your hands. You have that belief that I don't have a cup in my hands. Do you have the belief that there are no gods?
But I just want to make sure we're quantifying gods here. Like, when you say gods, do you mean any kind of conceivable
How about
God?
this? Do you have the belief that in the universe, what we consider to be gods, whatever Jehovah, Thor, something all-powerful being of some whatever you want to quantify as a god, some things supernatural, do you believe that the universe is devoid of all of them? They do not exist.
No.
You're an agnostic then in that.
Okay.
Yeah. You would be called an agnostic in philosophy then, if that's what you want to label yourself. Yeah.
Well,
Very good.
no, I just
That's simple.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of theist and a lot of very, very angry atheist fans, like on both sides, and I feel like I'm between them, and I wanted to make sure that I technically was between them.
You mentioned my name, you'll piss everybody off. People call in the atheist experience and the Talk Heathen especially, and they mention my name, and people go spun. Because people have noticed, they're like, why are you guys running from Steve? You guys all say Steve's wrong, but none of you guys will talk to him. I'm harmless, right? I'm like, come talk to me, because they know they have no evidence to support the position. I know I have overwhelming evidence. But, like, Dave, what do you think? What do you consider yourself now, Dave? Are you an anti-theist, atheist, non-labelist?
I'm an atheist.
Okay. So he's flat out. Dave is the kind of guy that says, you know what, gods are bullshit.
Yeah, because every god, the concept that I've ever been presented is either a stopgap or an unnecessary step in the explanation of the universe, one or the other.
Yeah, so he would be considered to be what we call an atheist in philosophy, that he holds the belief that there are no gods. Now, again, that's not prescribed. Eric Murphy from Talk Heathen made that mistake the other day. He was supposed to correct it today, but I don't think that he did, because I would have heard. But he made a mistake 2 weeks ago by calling me a prescriptivist. I'm not. I don't like when people get my positions wrong. But what about you, Taffy? Teddy, Teddy, what about you? You all God's bullshit to you?
Never believed in them. Don't think there's Anything teatral.
Can somebody translate?
Yeah, he doesn't believe in them. That
Oh,
I
okay.
caught that much.
Thank you.
I would say probably anti-theist
Anti-theist.
as
Okay.
opposed to.
He's one of my people. I'm
Anything
Scots-Irish. I don't have no idea half the time what the fuck he's ever saying.
There we go.
Christ, neither they are.
You probably know members of my clan, man, McCrae.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've worked with a few McRae's.
Yeah, they're I actually legit from the clan McCrae. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Proper spelling, too.
So far, how many subs you guys got? 192 people watching. How many guys actually went over and subscribed to them? Give them some subs. But what else?
I'd have to even look.
I don't. Yeah, you go look. You know what? Well, fucking Social Blade nowadays, they don't give you exactly what it used to be. It used to tell you the in live time, how much you had. Now they truncate it and they only give you 3 significant digits. Right? Are you kidding me? What the hell?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
We are at 1.37K.
Okay, getting there.
If we can get you to 1.38, that'd be cool. 1.4 maybe?
I'm agreeing with that. Absolutely. So now, we're talking about the gods question here. I have a question to jump in with because, there's a couple things in this discussion that I've always kind of wanted to get in on, and I've never had the right forum, but I'm definitely there now. So, when we're talking about gods like throughout the universe, are we only including gods that could like create a civilization of beings and so on, like texted gods on Earth, or are we including civilizations that are just so advanced we might come across one day that they would seem like gods?
I do not. I
don't either. Okay,
yeah,
good.
A god to me, I look. There's nothing wrong with having stipulative usages, stipulative definitions. So to me, a god is a type of creator being. It's a supernatural creator being that can. This is how I use the term. Right. Again, you don't have to, but it's fine when somebody says I'm using it this way for arguendo, for sake of argument. Right. So I say a supernatural being that can prescriptively change the laws of the universe. Now think about that.
Right.
I don't know anybody else who uses that terminology. It is stipulative.
That's a good way to put it.
But the reason why I use that is because if you can actually change, not just manipulate, not just harness, not just figure out, but you can change. If I say, hey, I want the speed of light to change, I'm going to put that as a god because I don't think any advanced civilization can change the fundamental concepts of the universe.
Right. Okay.
Only
In that regard, then I have absolutely no belief because if anything with a conscious existence could change the fundamental constants, we wouldn't be here because it would already be fucked.
Yeah.
Right. There's no
that being
way.
could destroy the universe in an instant.
Yes.
That's
like
God
Kevin
to me.
Kennedy took out his body just trying to change the channel on the television. He's a floating head in a jar now, right? You've got to be careful with these kind of powers.
I'm a demigod. That's completely different.
Okay,
Kennedy, don't destroy the universe. Please don't destroy the universe. Whatever you do, I've grown accustomed to this
really
universe.
quickly. Dr. Zayas said you sound like somebody, so I need you to say for the stream, hi, this is Johnny Knoxville, and welcome to Jackass.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Johnny Knoxville, and welcome to Jackass.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I know what Jackass is, but I've never seen it, so I didn't really know where to go there.
I never really watched that show either. I wasn't into that stuff.
You're missing out. There's some terrible, gross stuff there.
Don't they always pick on the guy's father and stuff? Like, I'm just not sure I'm comfortable with that. I got a 12-year-old, and I really don't want him to see that shit, man.
That's only Bam Margera. Bam Margera is a douchebag. The rest of them are pretty funny, though.
Okay.
Anyways,
yes, I've gotten us terribly off topic. I'm sorry.
No, that's that's what happens all the time. We like to go off topic. We like to see where it kind of rolls to. But I was going to ask you guys earlier though, because we had talked about before we went on about because you guys got some serious trolls too, but how trolls have kind of propelled people. Without trolls, we wouldn't be probably where we're at because they're so easy to slip. It's like gnats, right?
Yeah. Well, here's a good example. We had that Matthias guy do some trolling around. He ended up on my channel for a live stream, which was absolutely insanity. And then at the same time, last night during covering, what's her name again, Kevin?
Last night.
Claudia
Dr.
Albers.
Dr. Claudia
Albers.
Albers, allegedly
Yeah.
PhD.
Yeah.
Claudia
And what's,
Albers.
Yeah,
what's
and,
her thing?
And well,
Oh.
Is there
she's
is a rabbit
Steve,
hole
I'll send you
question?
some videos, mate. Trust me.
Well,
You'll find
before
me.
the stream, I was talking about living sentient baby planets that form gravitational connection points with mountains, and then nurse from them. That's her.
So okay, when you have somebody like
Oh.
that, do you not stop and go, maybe this person is mentally compromised, has some physical mental defect?
Well, I wondered about that myself, and someone said they looked into it, and allegedly her PhD is legitimate, which makes me
Yep.
think she's just a Poe.
Yeah.
PhD in what?
Physics, allegedly.
Physics.
Physics.
Which
I mean,
I
did you
did
see
that
Steve's
research
face?
myself.
Why
Did you
would a
guys see
PhD be a
Steve's face
Poe?
there? Hold on. Did you see his face there when we said physics? The look on his face. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't deal.
South
You
Africa.
guys remember, I don't deal with fuckery as easily as you guys anymore. To me, it's just like, really? It's like, come on, fuck me.
The astonishment on your face Steve,
Ah.
is priceless.
Well, it's funny as I didn't see because I was actually tabbed out, but I was actually reading something. I was listening, but I'm multitasking, but I didn't even notice. I didn't even catch it. That was legit, yeah. So shoot, why would a physics person have a PhD then want to be a Poe? I don't get it.
Oh, and it got so bad, Steve. She was talking about seeing mountain ridges on planet X that was sitting in our atmosphere while pointing a camera at some nice clouds in the sky. And she went on to say, what was blue? What?
The clouds were
Gravitational connection points.
Yeah, the clouds were blue. Oh, and then she went to the gravitational points as if you had like thumb pins and string and you were doing the old detective, doing the dots together on the pictures, from an
Is
old
she a flat
detective
earther?
movie.
and then she goes on to parent
No,
cores
no.
and baby cores and
Yeah,
So she's a
It was-
saloon. She's on the University website on the Wayback Machine. Okay, I can't keep track of these loons. There's just too many of them. any longer.
Allegedly, the University of Wits in South Africa is where she used to work.
Yeah. Kage,
And
$5.
they disowned her in 2017.
I'll have to
according
look into it. I
an
don't know the name of
article
this person.
In
I've
the
never heard
Daily
of them.
Express.
I never heard of that
And just-
argument before, to be honest with you.
And just because that you were able to do the work and complete a degree program doesn't mean that somewhere down the line your head just doesn't fall off and roll down the highway too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we go back to-
they're not going to take your PhD away from you. I mean,
Yeah, but they
you could earn
should
it.
maybe.
But
I
then-
think maybe they
then
should. But real quick,
aren't we
a couple
coming
super
back-
chats.
Aren't we coming back to Steve's question there of whether or not she's disabled?
Yeah, there you go. She might be.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's hard to tell. Like I know, like we found out that Ladder Theology Jesus probably had something wrong with him. Kage
Right.
for $5. What's his name doing in the Atheist Experience? Is the Atheist Experience a cartoon now? Hey, look, man, trolls be trolling, man. We all know that group is all a troll group, and they're chumming up to Matt Dillahunty because tribalism, because they believe in the same thing. It doesn't matter whether they actually are right or wrong, and it's so funny because Matt's embracing the enemy, my enemy kind of thing. It doesn't realize how bad these people actually are trolls, but that's okay. It doesn't matter to me. In fact, if trolls get popular, what happens to us? We get popular because I have people who be like, hey, I saw this on some fucking channel, Steve. What's up with this bullshit? I'm like, oh, let me explain to you this or this. Like, oh, okay, cool. Now I got a new sub.
Exactly.
Doesn't bother me. Kawasa
Yeah.
5000 probably got the credentials off a real PhD off the internet. Happens.
well, I
Oh,
think
there was.
Gage.
I was
I'm sorry,
thinking-
Gage. I said Kage. Yeah, Gage. I don't know.
She could be she
I
could be a
can't
doctor the
talk
same
to
way
her.
that Hunter S. Thompson was a doctor.
Yeah, no. There's. I think Bull knows. There's evidence of real credentials from an actual brick and mortar institution. Is there not?
there is, and she's actually they actually took it. They didn't take her PhD away, but she's not allowed to teach on the campus.
really?
She's not, she
Is that because she's a nutter?
Well, she went all
Ostensibly.
London. She went all London, England, Speaker's Corner, doing the preaching in the grass courtyard thing and whatnot
Oh,
about
she's
her
one of those type of nutters.
pseudoscience beliefs and stuff. Like it did not end well.
I got you.
No. I think I'm kind of with Taddy on this because I think she is a Poe because just the level of
Why would
the
she go out
monkey?
to a career,
I
though?
thought the monkey was going to explode yesterday, guys. I really.
Well, here's the thing: if you work that hard to get a PhD, why would you throw it all away to be a Poe?
I don't know. I really
See,
don't.
that's what makes me think she's not a Pope.
Yeah, I
But
think it's more
when it
mental
co-
defect. It sounds like.
I have
an
explanation for
without looking
that.
at her, you know.
But I have an explanation for that. All it takes is a little dabble in a few little extracurricular party activities on the weekends that you shouldn't have been doing. You get yourself lost in a bit. You don't get enough sleep. You start thinking some weird stuff. You get yourself in trouble around the university. And then what do? You recompose yourself and you go, you know what? I can use my education in a different way. And I'm going to sucker the stupid. And then boom, we've got this channel.
Oh, we got a lot
that
of them.
to me actually makes sense.
Have you ever heard of a friend of mine named Kitty Joy Paulson? Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sucker the stupid, man. It's like,
But I
I'm not a nice person sometimes. I'll
just
throw a
the
zinger when I can.
level.
Welcome to the
It's-
club, brother.
Right? I love you guys. I can get away with it on the Shills. You guys don't give a fuck. I love that.
I think the last time I thought objects that I saw in the clouds were real, I was probably in my crib looking up at the sky.
Right?
That's
I
pretty
mean,
much the last
how
time I
could you
thought
actually
that.
think those are real forms when we all know pareidolia? Or pareidolia, how you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced either way. I call it pareidolia, but it's actually pareidolia, I think.
I think Dolia. I'm
I
not
think it's
really
dolia
sure
too.
there
I think
because
it's supposed to be pronounced pareidolia, but I've heard it pronounced both ways. So whatever.
yeah.
So-
In different sciencey type shows I watch, I will hear different pronunciations
Mhm.
depending if somebody's from like South Africa, Europe, North America, and so on, right? So tomatoes, tomatoes, right?
Aluminium.
No,
There you
no,
go.
not aluminum. No, it actually is aluminum. That's
Aluminum.
sense. I know. I hate that. I can't argue it. I'm not going to argue it. I admit it should be aluminium rather than aluminum. But I'm an American son of a
I
bitch who
agree.
still uses foot inches, and so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to conform. Damn it.
You're an American, therefore you can get away with the stuff that, like, what is it? Is it like New England people who will say Mexican words in like the most bland American accent, like, "Oh, do you want a taco? I love a taco on a corn tortilla."
Hey, guys, though, before we get too
Tequila.
far,
They call it
we were
tequila.
we were talking about the mental health, evaluation of what's her name again, Dr. Papa son of a beachy or whatever the hell her name. I can't
You
remember.
even know.
Right
That's the
now.
funniest thing. It's not even memorable. Damn.
Yeah, I know, right? It's chewing gum on the bottom of your shoe just rolls off the tongue so much better. But Logical is really, really good when it comes to mental health things. And I think before we leave that, we should have got him in. Logical, you there, buddy?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Excuse me. When it comes to the mental health issue of debunking, there's actually very few mental health issues that I'm going to shy away from when doing my debunking. That's going to be things like traumatic brain injury, autism, some degrees of schizophrenia, possibly. But other than that, there's that whole issue of being able to know what's right, what's real, what's not real, right? Just because you're bipolar, it doesn't mean you don't know what's real, and you can't learn, you can't differentiate. And there's a complete difference between me telling you you're a fucking moron and saying your ideas are complete bullshit. Those are two totally different things. In fact, I've had a few people in the background say, hey, as a retired therapist, don't you think it's inappropriate to be making fun of some of these people?
No.
And it's like, well, I'm not making fun of them personally. I'm making fun of the idea
Right.
that they're spouting. And one thing I used to tell my clients before I retired, and it used to piss a few of them off, was that, your mental health diagnoses does not give you an excuse to just be an idiot, to say stupid shit, to do stupid shit. If you're going to make a public statement, be prepared to have a public response.
I totally agree
Take
with
some
what
personal responsibility.
So you were a
Absolutely.
licensed therapist? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you know about what do you know about people that have basically malignant narcissism and basically are sociopaths? What's it like the checklist for a malignant narcissist?
Yeah, the narcissism, that's an interesting one, and they do know the difference between real and unreal. But one of the real hallmarks to a narcissist is I can't be wrong under any circumstances.
And will they continue to
I
lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and
Right,
then lie again, no
and
matter how much they got to
and
lie in order to not recognize the fact that they've lied millions of
yeah, and
times?
it's just
Oh,
layering
okay. Who
upon
does that?
layers and upon
I'm not even going to
layers.
say anything. Hey, live chat. Who does that sound like? You say me? I swear to
Hey,
God.
Joey for dumb
Who does
fuck of
that?
the
Who does that
year.
sound like for dumb fuck of the year?
Yeah,
Just saying.
and
Just saying.
there's other
GM
personality.
TM
There's
for
other things
true.
that
that was good. You got that out there. Okay, bravo. All's fair when it comes to dumb fuck of the year, right? I guess so.
yeah.
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 And those are the things that narcissists do to try to protect themselves emotionally from being wrong because they see it being wrong as a character flaw, not as a lack of education, which it isn't a character flaw. It's ridiculous. So they will do things like gaslighting. The term comes from an old black and white movie, where the guy was trying to convince his wife that she was crazy by turning down the gas lights in the house. And she'd
Right.
say, wait a minute, I turned that up. She says, no, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. And they will do it in very subtle ways to where you start to doubt yourself if you're not really careful. In fact, I have a video on my channel about collective narcissism in conspiracy theory groups. If people are interested in that topic, it's basically what I did is I took a 2-hour college lecture and try to condense it down into about a 10-minute video, which really wasn't easy to do, but the meat of the ideas are still there, and it's worth taking a look at if
Well,
you're interested.
Yeah, I'd like to. And then I'll ask like my mods. Hey, Manya, who does that describe? The gaslighting, who does narrative all the time and makes people try to question what they actually know, like every single fucking day. I'll give you one hint.
And then
Starts with
uses
Katie.
the word gaslighting wrong.
Oh, a lot of people use like gaslighting wrong. A lot of people
Oh, yeah.
don't use it like that. But a gaslighting is exactly what he said it was. Now, I've
Yeah.
I've used it in a more colloquial sense before in the past, and I admit that. But I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't because that's not really what gaslighting is. I knew the difference, but that's exactly what gaslighting is, and that's what it's from. It's from the movie. But yeah, I mean, we deal with these people a lot. These narcissists, these gaslighters, and worse is the projection they have. It's like they're doing all this stuff and they project it onto other people. Steve's a narcissist. Steve projects. Steve gaslights. I'm like, I don't do any of those fucking things, man. It's because the people that do, they are good at it. I gotta admit, they have a lot of practice because I think they have to over a period of time, over several years. It's a learned behavior from them to lie 24/7. By the way, we turned this into a Katie Joy thing again. God damn it! It is dumb fucking you.
That was funny though, because as Logical was going on there and he mentioned gaslighting, Steve was just geeking out in the background. Oh yeah, I won all over this, man.
Hey, let me ask you guys before I get a chance. We'll continue, but Amy, since you're in the background and you're like the secretary, she's like, "What is that? Can we have a girl?" No, you just do a lot of the.
Oh no.
we use the term showrunner because without her there
Yeah.
wouldn't be a show.
Yeah, I
Like
know, I'm aware of that.
between her and Kiri
Absolutely.
Mack, we'd be fucked without the two of them.
Right?
There's no way it would happen.
But okay,
Right.
so can you do me a favor? Can you give me? Can you send me on DM everybody's name and their channel? Because I just put in the video description underneath the Shills, like for the individual channels. Would you be so kind? These people are
Sure,
asking
the
it.
individual ones, sure.
Yeah. Don't forget Bull. What about Bull?
Well, speaking of which, what about Bull? Hey,
Yeah.
Bull, you mind if I do this? Is that okay?
Do what? I can't see what you're doing.
Well, you know what we were talking about there in the background just recently. We might as well, let the cat out the bag, right?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
secrets.
definitely.
What are you two doing in the background?
Coming up on our channel on the Shills, we're kind of going to be rebranding and making it a bit more of a network with like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and going forward different shows on it. And a lot of it's going to be based in North American time zones, whereas Taddy, our main producer right now, is in Scotland. And as such, we reached out to Bull, and he's going to be joining the Shills to do some North American time zone production and whatnot, and
Nice.
take a seat and join us for the madness. So
Fucking A, man.
let's welcome
Wait a
Bull to
second.
the family.
Woo!
Yeah, welcome, Bull.
Congratulations, Bull. Welcome.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I also have some other things going on. Animancer has asked me to do some kind of show with them, or it's in the planning
Nice.
stage.
Nice.
It's kind of a it's going to be a call-in show, so we're going to actually have people call in and discuss the topic at hand, I guess. He's going to come up with the topics, and maybe we might bring in guests to talk with people as well. So
I would be a
that's
guest.
kind of
I like Animancer.
Animancer's
I've done
a
this
cool
a few
guy.
times, yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, also, what else are you going to be producing here? Probably, hopefully, starting in February.
Hopefully February. Of course, there's the court that's got to follow through, and then there's YouTube. So it could, like I told someone the other day, it's between now and forever.
Say the name, bitch. Say the name. Promo.
And the non sequitur show.
Thank you. I'm trying to lead him.
And the non sequitur show will be like.
We're going to be calling Non Sequitur Show starring Bull.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
What about Bull?
What
Hashtag what about Bull? So, you know.
But what are you gonna do without all the cool graphics?
We've got cool graphics. As a matter of fact, Bull has been, how many people? Let's take it. Bull.
wait,
5 people have now seen the new intro. The guy that
Did
made
you guys
it.
find? Did you guys find the stock editor that Kyle uses for everything?
No. We got a good intro. So,
Jesus.
so we have the person who made it. Bull and Air's seen it. Sweet Heathen has seen it. Who else has seen it? Cheshire's seen it, and Red's Rhetoric has seen it. So those are 5 people on the planet. So Reds, I'm sorry, Reds, Uni. Why did I say Uni? Oh my God, somebody's mentioning Uni in the Uni Rock and live
That's
chat.
a
I'm like,
funny one.
Bull and Air's, I got fucking Uni. Somebody's like, hey, Uni Rock's live. I'm like, I don't give a rat's ass. That motherfucker could just piss the shit off, man. He's like, he's seriously, this guy's like, oh my God, Steve and Leslie had a fraudulent fundraiser from what I understand. I'm like, oh my God. So we had a fundraiser for 6 kids during Christmas. Go fuck yourself. Okay. I'm like, it's just pathetic. But anyways, it's sad. It's true. I'm sure to God, that's really what they're running the narrative. But Dave,
I haven't watched much of the back and forth, but I've been getting the notifications.
Oh God,
and
it's a riot. It's a riot.
you guys definitely have a game of tennis going on right now.
No, I don't, because I got other things I'm doing, but I'm gonna be doing it on like Instagram. But I've got other people out there. I've got Little Red's out there. She's do it. I've got Moon. I've got a lot of people that are, they're bothered with that. I'm not gonna watch Uni's crap. I'm not. The people that are watching them, they're the ones that are feeding into their dire tribe and their narrative. I don't mean stop watching them because I want them to be exposed, but I don't think as many people probably need to. I think it should only be like 1 or 2 that have to suffer for the rest of us. But we'll get back to Dave because I was going to ask Dave now with the non sequitur. What do you think of the intro? Yeah, what do you think of the intro, Dave?
I think it's really cool.
He's paid to say that, by the way.
I've been talking to David McGinnis too about how we're gonna do intros on shows. The way I did it with the old non sequitur shows, I just started streaming a blank screen, which is kind of boring. So we were looking at some stuff today, and we're thinking, well, we're just gonna have whatever thumbnail that you choose for your video. We're gonna stream that first, and then we'll go into some music. And while the music's transitioning, we'll transition into a now streaming with a countdown that can be set, because I can do that. All that stuff can be done in vMix and it can be varied. And I was thinking, if it's a really big stream with some really big guests like Jesse Lee Peterson, for example, the build up to that show had to have been at least an hour and a half of people sitting there waiting for it to start. So in that 15 minutes, it would have been nice to have the stream actually running and us have the green room going on the side and then go into it.
Awesome.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Where was Jesse Lee Peterson on?
He was on the non-sequitur.
He was on non-sec?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Lawrence Krauss.
Hey, you haven't lived until Jesse Lee Peterson has called you a beta male. It's one of those things you don't even remember that, Joe. Right? You don't even know you're missing it. You're like, what is it I'm missing in my life here? I need Jesse Lee Peterson to call me a beta male. My life is complete.
I'll tell you what. One of my favorite moments I've seen online in the last 2 years has been when Jesse Lee Peterson had Mark Sargent and an astrophysicist on his show, and the two debated. But the funniest part of it was Mark Sargent explained the basics of the flat Earth, like it's a disc and there's an ice wall and a dome, and Jesse Lee Peterson just casually listens to it all, and then at the end of it he goes, "Amazing. Do you smoke pot?"
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, no,
Like, without missing
I
a
like the
beat.
guy. He's pretty personable. Yeah, we had also had Lawrence Krauss on. Yeah, look at it back.
His stupidity
Yeah.
is an act with Jesse Lee Peterson.
Hey,
It really
Email.
is.
It's been a while. Email's in the live chat. I haven't seen him for a while. Email. Yeah, the reason being is I got the Shills on, so we have all their haters, and then we have all my haters. So it's like combined forces today. It's okay. I don't go by the likes and dislikes. It doesn't really matter. Nobody gives a shit about the likes and dislikes. Nobody cares. They watch my stuff or they don't. These are all demonetized videos. They're fucking idiots. It's like nobody. All these videos get demonetized. You hear how many times I say fuck? I don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody else actually watches them. I don't care. It's
You want to know
so
demonetized?
funny.
Every time we get off the air, we have the demonetized thing on the damn,
Oh, you
and we have to do the
off? Oh,
review.
mine's halfway
We
through.
never make it through the
Never.
first 10 minutes of a stream without yellow, man.
Never. So all these people that come over to try to downvote, it doesn't do a fuck all good because, like I said, nobody watches my older shit like this.
No, and
No offense to the
downvote,
Shills. I mean, I
upvote,
wish
it
they
doesn't
did,
matter.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get any. I don't make
Downvote,
any money
man.
off this stuff. Yeah,
But
Enjoy it.
downvotes are still interactions. As far as the algorithm is, it's like, hey, people are going over there to make their voice heard. It's fine.
Well, but you know that you look at here's the fact: Unirock and Katie Joy both have their own goon squad, and then now they're combined forces, and they sit in Discord and they actually say, "How are we going to fuck with people today?" Basically, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? Blah blah. They actually are running narrative and say, "What do we need to do to put these guys on the defensive?" kind of thing. I don't play that fucking game.
That shit.
Look, after what
honestly,
Unirock did to Leslie Bass, his reputation is shot. He's dishonorable. He's a coward. He can fuck off. Nobody should have anything to do with him, in my opinion. If you do, great. But you know what? I'm not going to have that much respect for anybody that has anything to do with somebody that did what he did to Leslie Bass. I can't. I just can't.
Can I ask everybody on the Shills in the panel right now, did you hear a hint of monkey in Steve's voice right there? Jesus Christ,
I
that
get
was
it.
good.
What's that? What? Explain.
Jump
Explain.
Monk, the drunk
You sounded a
monkey.
bit like Jump Monk, the
Oh.
drunk monkey there. That was a
Oh.
proper rant, Shills
Nice.
style, and I honor the effort with a
It
grand
was.
salute.
Oh, you haven't seen my good rants. I could do a good rant on Unleashed. I do that, and on Instagram, I am just man. I didn't even realize I can do a rant so well sometimes.
Well,
Can I just point out, because Steve talked about like the shit these people get up to on Discord.
Mhm.
If you want to see like the hellhole that Discord can be, the weird pit of socially dysfunctional weirdos that can exist there, check out Tom Rabbit's channel.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I know Tom. Look, I know Tom for very, very, very. long
Nothing
time.
against Tom.
Yeah,
he
Tom-
just kind of
Tom
seems
is-
to be a fly on the wall for a lot of it.
Here's Tom. Let me give you Tom in a nutshell, because he's not a bad guy, but he is an opportunist.
Yes.
Yes, and he'll admit to this. I don't think he'll deny this. I'm not trying to be pejorative. He will admit this. He will use whatever he can to try to promote himself and whatever. I don't blame him for it. I don't hold anything against him. But yeah, that is a cesspool over there. He wants it that way. I drop
It's
it in so
nuts.
often though.
It's a pit of humanity. It's kind of great to visit that from
Yeah, I
every
drop
now
on.
and again, because it makes me feel better about
When's the
myself.
last time you were in there when Dio was in there?
Who?
Dio. You remember
I'm not
Dio?
sure
You
who
don't
that
know,
is.
you don't know Dio?
I'm not sure offhand.
Go into that Discord and ask about Dio.
All right.
Dionysus. Go ahead.
Oh, Dionysus. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
And also,
What do you mean, Ronnie
Shamos. How does Shamos go in there still? How about
I'm not sure.
How about Darn's
I've-
Deity?
Oh God. I mean, is he allowed anywhere but his own little?
Oh, he's there
echo
allowed,
chamber?
but he's not going to go in there. If Jack Strike's in there, or Rational Nihilist, or anybody's in there. No.
I will say about Darwin's deity. There's a video that I watch probably like every 6 months on Tom Rabbit's channel that it makes me feel so good. I don't know this guy's story, but a guy named Gus ranting at
Yeah.
Darwin's deity for
Gus
about
Bellinger.
15 minutes.
Is this the same as Tom Unboxes, or is that
Yes.
somebody else?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm actually in his Discord server, and I've gone in there and listened to that crap too. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. But let me tell you about Gus Bellinger. There's a video
Okay.
on Darn's Greatest Hits. And the very first scene is me telling a group of people about Darn's deity. That Darn's deity is a guy who just has about 18 questions. He won't never answer because it'll get him in trouble if he does. And he will avoid anybody that asks those questions because he calls them trolls.
Mhm.
And then there's clip by clip of him doing this exact same thing until the very end with Gus Bellinger, who is the master of verbal lacerations. He can lacerate you with his words. The guy's a wordsmith, and
Mhm.
he just berates him to death. I mean, it shuts him Dar's deed up in a way that nobody's ever seen before. And
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
where
that's the
Gus
one.
is going like, hey, Darwin,
Yeah.
Darwin, atheists just want to be friends.
Wait, what? Well, no, it's more like Darwin. You know, why do you want to do this, Darwin's? Of all the things you could bring and all the understanding of philosophy and everything, why,
Yeah,
Darwin?
you
Why are
could be
such
such a
piece of
talent
shit?
here,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you waste yourself.
That's Gus Bellinger. Gus Bellinger was, I think, in the very first hangout that I was on in G-Man. I was on G-Man's channel with Gus Bellinger. I was on with a guy named what the hell is it from? He was from Drunken Peasants. What the hell is his name? He left. He was TJ. What was his name? Anybody?
Oh,
Bueller.
I'm drawing a blank. I can't
I
get
can't think
it.
of it. It's been so long.
I got nothing.
Bueller.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. but-
Bueller.
TJ Kirk was the other one. He's on Deep Fat Fried. Nobody? And also, but you want to know, somebody over in the live chat will remember who it is in the Deep Fat Fried. But do you want to know who else was in there? You're not going to believe this. Do you guys remember Bellend, Matt Bell? United Kingdom pedophile extraordinaire.
Yep.
Yes. Nasty.
That was he was in that very first hangout I was on G-Man. Yep.
Oh,
We all knew he was a piece of shit, but nobody expected that. Oh, Paul. Paul. Yeah, what's
It's like
his name?
that
That's
serial
the-
killer who
Paul
showed up on a
something.
game show.
Matt Bell ended up, I guess he was like, had some girls in the Philippines that he was paying
Yeah.
like $2 for, and they were underage and shit like that, and the judge said they've never seen anything like it before. Paul's Ego, thank you. Paul's Ego. I couldn't think of the name. Paul's Ego was in there. But yeah, it was, talk about Gus Bellinger, Paul's Ego, and Matt Bell trying to get a word in edgewise with G-Man. Good luck with that. That was a long time ago. Wow, man. We've been around
That's
a long time.
hilarious. Just the thought of Matt Bell and G-Man. That's like Alexa and Siri having an argument. It's just hilarious.
But you remember when Matt Bell would be like talking about morality, right? I'd be like, Steve, how do you justify your morality? And I wasn't as decent as I was nowadays at these concepts, but still, I mean, I had so much pushback on him. Like, dude, you're a piece of shit. You have no moral code. He's like, well, I have God, and then I was like, I'm not a Christian, but I believe in the Christian God. The fuck are you even saying, dude?
Eh?
Eh? don't do a Matt Bell impersonation, Taddy. Don't do that. That's not a good man.
Well, I can impersonate away, man. No bugger can do it.
You
You
know
want to hear
what?
this lot trying to do a Scottish accent?
Yeah, we'll have you do Matt. We'll have you do Matt Bell. We'll have Dave do Onision. We'll have Dan do.
Please no.
Well, I can do Dale. No.
Oh, God.
No.
I can do it now because I'm Michelle. No.
Yeah, there you go. No.
There you go.
Get the
I'm
Delta
so
out of here,
rebel.
brother.
You guys need to get some. Where's your guys' like merchandise and shit? You guys gotta get some merchandise going on.
Oh,
We just started, actually. We just finally got around to a few of those things. At first we didn't see it as so much necessary because we were just, we were trying our best to put together a good show, but we were still just screwing around by nature. And it took a little bit more before we actually got that extra little oomph in there and started getting the background stuff together. So we're playing catch up, but we're getting there. Steaming Cup of Reason and Anti-Flatter, and I don't know who else put in some effort. And we do have some good designs up on Teespring and I don't know what
Dick,
Public or something.
this is a long-winded ass way to just plug the store.
Well, why not tell the little story
so
about it, right?
The whole time you've been talking, I've
Have you
just
guys
been
worked it
looking
out
on
of how it
Twitter
works?
for the link.
How do you split it like 8 ways or 7 ways?
Well,
I'm just
right
kinda
now it
curious.
just goes into the pot to buy
Give them
gear.
pot. Okay, that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
actually a smart way to do it. I thought it was going to be something like that. Put it toward the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody gets a dime right now. It's all
makes
about
sense.
making things better.
No, that's a
Absolutely.
brilliant way to do it. And by the way, I didn't need a contract with Kyle. It wouldn't have made a difference. And all these idiots who like, Steve should have had a written contract with Kyle. You're an idiot. Even my lawyer's like, that would have made a difference. He told me straight out. People do this stuff verbally all the time. But what difference would it make? If a person's going to break a contract, they're going to break a contract, which he did. He was already found guilty or liable for breach of contract. So
To all of those people, I would just say hindsight is 2020. Anybody
Well,
can say that now.
It wouldn't have mattered if we had a win. I knew when I mean we had enough to make it an actual contract. Now I didn't think it was
like here's my
screw me over that
point.
bad,
Like,
but you know,
here's my point. Before Kyle started edging you out, if you had asked everyone, "Should I have a contract?" What would they have said?
I don't know. I stopped when you said Kyle edging me. I thought that was just weird.
No, I don't think anyone would have said that's necessary because Kyle genuinely seemed like a nice guy. Nobody expected what happened.
Nobody. I know, although, you know, Bull and I and Reds probably about the first of the year thought something was up. It wasn't until like June we actually like said something. But I mean, Bull, how far back we were like, you know, maybe there's something going on here because I was asking for this and you were asking for that. We weren't getting anything. We were noticing changes.
Well, I kind of noticed it. I probably noticed it before you did, but it was, I would say, probably about November of last year, maybe a little bit before.
A little bit before then, yeah. I mean, I was a little slow on the uptake, I guess, but you know, we all notice it. And by the way, we'll do a recap and timeline and everything when we get the show back. I think the viewers and the fans have a right to know what happened, and then it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Though we're gonna smash what it was before. I have no doubt about that. So we got so much better stuff coming up. I think.
There are
I can't wait to see it in proper hands.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
It's going to be really good.
Well, you know, Kyle was 95% of the show, so
awesome.
I have a big shoes to fill.
I don't know about big shoes.
was a
Just
joke.
shoes. You know. You know, maybe sandals with a hole in them and the little thing that goes around the big toes.
Dick, what would you rather
loose and
stare at
cut
for 2
off
hours,
and-
Kyle or Chesh?
Sorry,
Chesh.
say that again?
I said, what would you rather stare at for 2 hours, Kyle or Chesh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's sexist, Steve. Yes, it is. It's called
Not-
marketing.
That's human.
It's called
That's not
marketing.
sexist.
No.
That's human. Come on.
that's called having a pulse.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not sexist. She's very cute. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with sexist. You can't be sexist by being alive and being honest about
You're
it.
just
Come
not,
on.
You're not
No.
sexist. You're sexy.
I'm not
Yeah.
entirely
Chess-
sure why,
Chess has
but
got the
Babes
goods to
just
back it
looked
up, too,
over
though,
at me
right?
and says, "Well, answer his question."
Chess is going to
answer that
be very
question.
disarming, right? 'Cause Chess is not just attractive. She's got the goods to back it up. She's smart, and she knows how to.
Yes.
She knows how to properly investigate and ask questions and probative questions. She likes to probe, and that's going to be formidable because we're going to have some great guests on, and I think she's going to be like, people are going to be like, wow, this is
You know,
great.
I just found out that Chesh lives probably like an hour and a half drive away from me, and that scares me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a 500-mile radius of her. But like last night, did you guys
That's
watch?
funny.
Did you guys watch Drunken Peasants last night? Anybody?
No, not yet. It's on my list for later because I'm kid free in about 15 minutes, which is actually why I'll have to mute off for 5 minutes as Grandma picks him up here. But
I don't know why.
I can't
but
wait.
I have no idea why, but I've had like 6 or 7 people message me already going, that was one of the best DPS we've seen. And the one with when we had, I was with David Silverman. They liked that one a lot. But a lot of people liked the one last night a lot. They're like, even on my Facebook, they're like, that was a really good episode. I don't know why. I don't think I did anything different, but they liked it.
I have to ask you, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you and Jeff Holiday talk about Katie offline at all?
Yes.
Well, what was the? Is that something you can divulge?
Choose your words carefully here. What is
Because
it?
I like Jeff Holiday. I'm
I
really
love Jeff
big fan of
Holiday.
his.
Jeff. Oh man, Jeff is amazing, dude. We're gonna be. Jeff is gonna be intricately involved, I think, with some stuff I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna be playing games, and yeah, I love Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a fan of hers. Let's just say.
You know, I just got to say, I didn't notice the Drunken Peasant stream, the most recent one, and I just read the title, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, so Jeff wasn't even supposed to pop in. I saw him in the live chat. I was like, "Get your ass in here, dude." Because Jeff and I have always gotten along. But you know, he got kicked off Twitter.
That's some
No.
dumb shit right there. That's
Do
some
you know
dumb
why he
shit.
got kicked off Twitter? Cool.
Not specifically, but
Because he had a sign outside of Twitter's headquarters that said "pee pee poo poo."
Oh,
For heaven's sake.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even making this shit up. I've seen it. I've seen the fucking photo. It was like pee pee poo poo. And Twitter goes, "You're done." I was like, God, it was just him standing outside there with a sign that said,
After the shit I've seen on Twitter, that's what it takes to get kicked off. How does that work in any way?
And
swear to God,
meanwhile,
I don't know. I really don't know. I was like, Jeff, that's this fuckery. What the hell is that?
I'm gonna send him. A message and see if he'll send me his sign so I can do it here.
Oh God, see, well, he'll send me that picture, I'm sure.
Oh man, what the hell? It's just, you can't make this shit up.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. Look, I changed up my social media going into the next year, right? And every year I do a recap and I change things up a little bit, right? Because you get stagnated. And so I'm trying to move my social media around because I just got too much I got to deal with, and I'm not going to be sitting there doing 1,000 messages anymore. I just don't have the time. And Twitter's a cesspool.
Right.
Fuck Twitter, whatever. I don't get it. Twitter's like if I got rid of one media, it would be Twitter. Twitter's just a waste of my time. But it's nice for putting out videos and saying like, hey, I'm doing a video. So I put it private. I'm going to be using it for that kind of stuff, and then I'm going to be doing a lot of more stuff on Instagram because people like my rants on Instagram. I can be a little more free, and I'm going to be moving the Katie Joy stuff to the GDC channel. And I'm going to keep it on this channel, like Ask a Philosopher, DEFCON 1 Science, Rum and Coke Night, Caffeine Corner. So plenty of stuff still on this channel. But I'm going to move that other like Dumb Fuck of the Year stuff and all that to the GDC channel where, so it's kind of separated. So going forward in 2020, when people go, well, look at Steve's drama channel, they'll be like, fuck you. Go, watch his other channel then. Right. So.
Right.
I can't please everybody, but I think this is the best way to go forward. But there's already a narration out there. Steve's locking everything down. I had planned this for a while. I was thinking about how I want to go about doing this. And once I started getting on Instagram, I was like, this is going to work. So
yeah. I do the same thing myself. I have a little channel where I do like pseudoscience Weird Al Yankovic type songs, Canadian Thomas. And then I have my Dick Dawson thing where I do all my debunking and pointing and laughing and stuff. It just made proper sense.
So do you guys want to come in one by one and do we get the Non Sequitur show and you'll come in and be like special co-host every so often or guest host?
Absolutely.
Nice. Bull, are you okay with that? Because Bull is now going to be like officially Non Sequitur. It's not just going to be like him producing. It's going to be Bull, myself, and Chess are going to be like intricately related in all this.
Well, then it turns out I just have an inside guy now, don't I?
Yeah. Use him.
Nobody here say the word perpetuity.
Wait, I think you just did, but anyway.
Purple Tootie? What Purple Tootie?
Well, I think it's only fair because Kyle I'm sorry, but he fucked Bull, and I got pissed because when Bull couldn't stream, it was like, oh, we need to get another producer. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. Just don't throw somebody away because he lost electricity, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Right, and keep in mind that I lost electricity because you didn't fucking pay me, Kyle.
Yeah, come on. I mean, at that point in the game,
I'm not saying I do it solely for the money, but it is work. And Taddy can confirm this. If you're doing this every night, multiple shows per night, or multiple, like my goal is to make this a business. Where I'm right now I'm streaming Pimp Monk. Right, Pimp Monk is kind of a charity right now because he's going through some hard times and stuff right now. But him, Landon, Noel, and I are probably going to do something together. He keeps saying Landon and he and I need to sit down and talk. Well, if you've got Landon Noel behind you, Steve can confirm this. There's nothing going to stand in your way.
Yeah, Landon, because Landon is my co-host for DEFCON 1 Science. He's also a huge supporter of my channel. He helped finance my equipment. He is the man. Absolutely the man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are words from experience. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Love it. I'm surprised how quick, and I know I'm speaking for some of the other shills here as well, at how fast it hits you when you start doing this. Holy, it doesn't take you long to realize that you want to just do it. There's for some people, when you get into this YouTubing, it instantly becomes this, I could do this 4 hours a day, no problem, and just make it life.
Well, it is full time. It is. But you know what? And I'm sure you had to learn it. There's a flow when it comes to these conversations. There's a etiquette to be had. There's conversation to be kind of followed, right? And it takes a long time for, I think, people to jump into that, because when somebody just kind of jumps into it, they're hesitant. They're not confident what they're saying. They don't enunciate properly. We all do it. We're still all learning. But yes. I want to help people actually get into the YouTube. I want to help build their channels, want to get them voicing themselves, because Bull and have known me a long time. Bull, for the whole great debate community, wasn't it always let's build other people up rather than try to tear them down? Because the people we left, they wanted to tear people down. We wanted to build them up, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, that was the big to do, and that's where all these trolls kind of came from, is because they wanted to sit there and make fun of people instead of ideas. And that's what it turned into. And they're like, well, we're going to make fun of these people. We're going to make fun of the Tommy Halls, the G-Mans, the True.
Yeah, and that got old, especially when they were basically trying to get them fired and other stuff. And I was like, I think that's when you're taking that shit into people's real lives, no matter who you are. I can't accept that. I really can't accept that. And when you're trying to literally try to make somebody go crazy so they kill themselves, that's beyond the pale. By the way, hang on one sec. I'm with you guys streaming right now, and Cheshire just told me her sister wanted to call me. I'm doing it with you guys. Rachel wanted to call me, and I'm doing it with you guys. Oh my god! Oh. Have you guys seen Rachel's? Have you guys seen her? You guys seen her sister? Oh my god, my heart.
No. I gotta bow out for 5 minutes, guys. Grandma's about to pick my son up. Sorry, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, I got a mad crush on Cheshire's sister. I'm not even gonna hide it. My sister wanted to call you, but I'm like,
say about that.
What?
Hey, Steve, want to hear some amusing news?
She got a crush on you too?
No.
Oh.
Unirock is currently rescinding his support for the Shills.
Didn't know he had support for the Shills.
Well, he's been on
Just
the show.
because we're on this show? Well,
probably.
whatever.
Yes.
You guys. Hey, like I said, anybody can have anybody that they want on. I don't judge people of that. I think people that support somebody like Unirock, I question their things, but he should be like grateful you guys have anything to do with him. Why is he just?
Well, I mean, like we had him on in the past before any of this kind of stuff blew up, and I've like kind of politely pushed at him and said like, "Hey, man, I really think you're going in the wrong direction here," and he's completely ignored it. So I don't care.
Yeah, dude, you guys, your channel's gonna be fucking famous one of these days. We'll get you there. Like when we get the Non Sequitur show going, we're gonna be helping channels out, and I mean that very sincerely. You guys got Bull, you guys got me, and those guys will be left in the dust because those guys cycle through people like KJ and Unirock. They literally cycle through people. We don't. We have the same people we've had when I started. I have people that come around that I had my first hangout 8 years ago.
Yeah, people who know me and know the rest of the Shills, they know that we're friends with everybody. And if you try to tell one of us or as a group that you can't be my friend if you're going to be their friend, well, fuck you. Whatever. You know,
Yeah,
I'm going to choose
like
my own
anybody can associate with
goddamn
anybody they
friends.
want.
I'm not going to let
Yeah.
anybody else choose them for me.
Right, and
No,
that's why I am.
very
Although financial support's a little bit different. I think people that give Unirock money. I mean, I never really did that before. I'm like, don't people like? Yeah, I like give people money for whatever you want, but I have an ethical issue with it at this point for what he did. Right? I mean, you're literally funding a bully. I don't know how else to say it. It's not like he's just a bad guy. It's not like somebody who I just disagree with. You're literally he actually bullied people and lied about it, and I can't accept that. I'm sorry, I just cannot accept that. But if people want to have him on, they're more than welcome to. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to associate with you. The most I'm going to do is I've told people on Twitter, I am unfollowing people that want to continue having conversations with trolls over and over and over and over again. I can't keep getting dragged back into it. So I'm just unfollowing them, which is fine. I mean, they're still friends and I still got them in other sources. It's just on my Twitter, it's a waste of my time. All right.
Can I point out? I just looked up Unirock's Twitter. He didn't rescind his support for the Shills. He said, I resend my support for the Shills. So I think we're good.
Oh, resend. Okay. Either way.
Oh, okay.
But my comment still stands. I choose my own friends and I choose to be friends with everybody. If they don't want to be friends for me, I don't care. It's just get off my nose. I'm just a dinky little channel.
I think it's funny. It's very vague. It just says, I don't mind if you still support them, but I'm letting my following know those of you that subbed or supported because of me, I was wrong and misled you. Yada, yada, yada. It doesn't say anything about why.
Because he's an idiot.
Which
it happens. Life
yeah,
goes
well,
on.
I say to my audience, go support the Shills. Fuck Unirock. Go support the Shills. Go Patreon to them. Go give them some fucking money. I'm okay with
give us
that.
money.
Give them money. Suck them.
Oh, definitely give money.
I don't care. Do whatever you got to do. Whatever makes them happy. But help them out because that's what this channel's about. That's what the Great Debate Community's channel's about. It's about building people up, and the other people that are tearing people down, they're left in the. Because look, we've been around a long time. Dave and I has been around a long time. We haven't gone anywhere. Matter of fact, we're bigger now than we ever been because of the people like Unirock.
See, and that's a conversation we had when we first started the Shills. We originally started with a Discord channel called Where the Sidewalk Ends. It's now gone because now we have the
Silverman.
Shill servers. But we had that conversation about we wanted to build community.
Yeah.
We want to shout out the little creators coming up behind us. We want to support the larger creators that helped get us started. You know, we're all, you know, I got so much time and energy invested in debunking the stupid. I got no time to fight with my buddies, you know, and that's silly to be, you know, to me to, you know, be fighting with my own family.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
that's it right there. We're busy working on things for the show. We don't have time to just play with childish, juvenile things like this, like telling others who can be friends and who can't. It's just really very silly.
Yeah. I'm shit.
Exactly.
I'm 55 years
Exactly.
old here. You know, I'm not in high school anymore.
Look, I'm gonna give you guys take it for what it's worth. Sage advice, useless advice. It's what it is. I'll give you the same advice I give in time. Right, Nick Suter. And by the way, people are like somebody's like Nick Suter threw Steven under the bus. No, Nick Suter is one of my best buddies. I love Nick Suter to death. Even Nick Suter was like just pissed when people start talking for him. It's just that I told Nick if he's going to continue with the trolls, I don't want it in my timeline. That's it. And so I am removing people that I'm following. I'm not blocking them. It's just I don't want to see if anybody's going to be talking to any of the troll groups. I'm just not going to follow them. It saves me from having to have 1,000 notifications when I wake up in the morning of shit that I don't want to deal with. How many times can I deal with Laura, for God's sake, right? She's nuts. I don't care. Let her spew her shit. People want to like talk to her. God be with you. But I'm not going to have anything to do with her, Fiona, or Exiled, or any of those people. Fuck no. But now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, my sage advice to you. Always do what you guys want to do. Always do what you want to put out. Don't worry about anybody else. Do what you like to do. If people want to watch, great. But if you start getting your content to other people, that's when it's going to start affecting you, right? You cannot. You have to put out what you like to do. People are going to give you advice. Take the advice from people that you trust, that you think is good advice. Discount the people and discount the advice for the people you don't, because you can't take if two people giving you advice and one of them makes sense and you trust them and the other one's an asshole that has shitty advice. You're not going to take their advice. And when you don't, they're going to get upset. You're going to get a hate group, even more than you have now. Because as you get bigger, it's just going to happen. Use it to your
I'm being
advantage.
yelled at in the chat right now.
You can't please everyone all of the time.
No, you can't.
Go
So
ahead and try.
sack it. I'll please myself.
Yeah, that's what we all should do. We all
right.
should please ourselves, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So who's your
Sorry.
troll?
Sorry, you said that and my hands were busy, and then I realized that was a bad idea.
Hand check. So who's your biggest troll? Some of the trolls I won't even name, but who's your biggest troll if you name one?
Our trolls tend to be conspiracy theorists and it's like flat earthers and that sort of thing. I don't know who is the biggest one, guys.
Is anyone familiar with? I did a guy for my 100 sub special like way back in the day. He's followed me a little bit, but I think he's mostly gone now. A guy named Bry416. He leaves like novel length comments that are stories about how when I was in school and I was a young child and the bullies pushed me into the locker, the bullies were actually trying to wake me up out of my indoctrination, and because of all of my homosexual and nerd tendencies, I failed, and now I'm this like it's wild stuff. The guy seems obsessed. I'd say he's my biggest.
All right.
Oh yeah,
I would-
a lot of projection.
How about do you guys have something that actually wears their face to cook in and sleep in? Do you guys have that? No, you
No.
don't.
Never reached that
I
point.
win.
No, but I have a troll, and I'm sure a lot of people in this room probably know who I'm talking about. His name is Jason McCormack.
Oh yes, the flatter. He's a concave earther.
He's a
Yes.
concave earther. He's a Lord Stephen Christer. Yes, that
Oh,
guy.
Oh, God.
He's one of my trolls. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Hi, David. How's it going?" I'm like, or "Hi, Bool." Whatever he says, I don't really care. I've actually got a picture on my drive of him holding up a piece of paper that says "F you, Bool" on it to his camera. He was at work when he did this. I was like, that's stupid.
That's funny.
Yeah, on my channel, I think the one that was the most triggered was Alex Morales. He really got triggered by my two-part
Oh, yeah.
psychology series. Yeah, it was funny, but they don't tend to stick around because I don't argue with them
see,
so
your
much
troll-
as I laugh at them.
Dude, your trolls don't have staying power. I got mine for 3 years.
Oh
Or more.
man, that's impressive.
I know, right?
Man, this is like hurting my soul in the chat here. Janie, this isn't the Shills show. It's a different show. It's on someone else's channel. We're just here. And
Janie
we're not
confused?
attacking people on a personal basis. We're talking about the same sort of things we always do, just not conspiracy related.
So Janie says, where are the shills? This is a sad fest attacking so many people on a personal bias. Oh, Janie, I think you got us mistaken here. Would you like to come in and talk? We're talkers.
I'd love to, yeah.
Yeah, what did I miss? I just got back. What happened
We're having a
there?
love fest.
I know Janie's a fan of mine, and I think a fan of ours of the Shills.
Oh.
I like
And
Janie very much.
Why don't we
She's
bring her in?
just
You guys are
she's
talking
not
to her?
digging the vibe of the show, and I'd love to hear about why.
That hurts. It's Christmas time. Look, I haven't got a goddamn tree. I'm Jew with tree. Okay, come on. I'm getting this season.
Oh,
That's what they call me. They call me Jew with tree.
Happy fucking Hogs Watch.
That's my
One thing
nickname,
I'll say
Jew
for
with
sure
tree.
is everybody's open to their opinion, and you can't please everybody all the time. So, I'm pretty sure I know Janie well enough as somebody who's viewed some of our content that, one show will not, change an opinion overall. It's just the show. But I'd still like the conversation on why I agree.
Yeah, I mean, look, people. One of the things about the GDC is that I always said this. Well, I haven't. I generally have said this. That if you don't change your mind and position every so often, or at least like once a year or something, you're not a critical thinker. If you don't change your mind every so often, you've got to grow. You cannot be stagnant. And I've noticed people that have like I pointed out, like God Barrett. I pointed him out every so often. He changed his position. He used to be kind of an anti-Steve kind of guy. He changed his position. Let's see here. Smitty's my mod. He's my mod. He gets after me all the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
It's goddamn Smitty. Have you? By the way, have you guys seen Red Eye? I mean, yeah. So I mean,
good
he's my
point.
mod. Red Eye's my mod. Shit.
Red Eye is my friend.
I love Red Eye.
He's also friends with Landon Knoll.
I love Red Eye.
I love him to pieces.
Red Eye is amazing. But I mean, Red Eye talks his shit, right? You don't shut up Red Eye. Right? He's very, yeah. So I mean, we encourage that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and Ben, I think people sometimes need to understand too that it's okay to disagree. Me
Yes.
and Kevin, me and Dick, Dick and whomever in our group, we disagree from time to time, but you know what? We're still friends. And sooner or later, as we talk it out, we find a common ground,
Yeah,
and sometimes it's we're going to disagree. We're going to continue to disagree on this topic, but I still love you, man.
Well, I had somebody the other day say, well, it's not just, I was like, agree to disagree. And they're like, no, it's not just agree to disagree. I'm like, look, I'm done with this conversation. And they kept pushing it. And I had to mute them for 24 hours. I just couldn't take it. We're going to be doing
Can I just
tomorrow.
say, logical, I disagree with you. You're an asshole. Shut up.
Yeah. Well,
I can
gotta
be.
say,
I'll agree with you there.
Tomorrow
Logical
morning.
and I have a long-standing one going where he insists that Andy Gibb is the greatest singer the human race has ever known. I say no, but we're still friends. It's
I love
okay.
the Bee Gees, man.
Hey, Dick, fuck
And
you.
fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Andy Gibb owned a.
We all
he
know
owned a
that the
field.
greatest vocalist of all time is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Anybody disagrees with me? I don't care.
I used to live in on a street called Acre Street in Northridge, California, and Andy Gibb owned a field not far from us back in the 70s. Fun
cool.
fact, yeah. It's Kawasa 2000. Be a community, don't be a tribe. There you go. And we're going to be going over community stuff tomorrow morning on Caffeine Corner. We're going to be going over the 5 C's. We're going to be going over the code of criticism. We're going to be going over cultivation and culling. And we're going to be doing all C's tomorrow. It's a C show. The big C word.
Cool.
So we're going to be doing the C word tomorrow. And I hope people watch because Chester and I have a lot to talk about when it comes to how to approach people. And Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, because I wrote the rules for the GDC years ago, and you were a mod. Did we not have a rule that when people wanted to walk away from a conversation, they were done? They could quit at any time for any reason?
Yeah, you don't have to engage somebody if you don't want to.
Nobody has the onus to engage somebody. When you say, look, I'm done with this debate, a discussion, whatever, walk away, the other person needs to stop.
Yeah.
And that happens. It happens far too infrequently any longer with Twitter. When I ask people, stop. I blocked somebody the other day on my Facebook. I blocked Anti-Ordinary. I asked her to stop. She wouldn't. I can't have that any longer. We're going to a new year. Things will be changing. There's reasons why. It's not because I don't want to talk about the topic. Well, sometimes it might be I don't want to talk about the topic, but I mean, for the most part, I have reasons why I don't want to continue carrying on a particular line of thought in public. It's not because I'm embarrassed, not because I don't have answers. It's because I don't want to give you those reasons, and I'm asking you, please stop. And I don't understand when you have people out there that say, hey, look, I am being triggered right now. Please stop. And people continue. People think those people are shit, but I ask people to stop, and they continue, and I'm the bad guy for blocking them. You can't have it both ways. Look, and so we're going to have some kind of a codification of things going forward for the Great Debate community on Facebook, and for my channel and how people approach things, because I think there needs to be a little bit more formality when people come after people sideways. We don't need that shit. In 2020, let's be better than that. That's
I like that. Let's be better than that. Exactly. Right.
That's a great motto for 2020.
Let's be better than that. The C word, you big cunts. Okay.
Exactly.
No.
Red Eye's the only one that can say that word properly. Yeah.
Oh, for Scotty or for
Daddy
Taddy
can.
Bogle here, it's it's the same as saying coffee. I mean, to him, it's just regular conversation.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Why?
I guess Anti-Ordinary has went to Heretic, one of my main detractors, and I'm like, this is one of the reasons why I saw things with I was like, I'm not going to talk to you about this because I've seen certain things. I can predict certain things, and if all of a sudden the person that I trust runs to, these psychopaths, I know I did the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee
Well,
if Bull and I ever
I'm
had
telling
falling out, the last thing he would ever do is go run a Heretic. Last thing. He'd be mortified to. The enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend, right?
Why the hell would I talk to that guy? He's creepy.
I know, man.
Yeah.
He's a nutter, dude.
It doesn't matter who you're not getting along with at the moment. Idiots are idiots and assholes are assholes.
Yeah, it doesn't
right?
change. It doesn't
That would
change
be like
psychopath.
And everyone is a cunt.
Yeah,
It'd be like
exactly.
me
Seeing
running
as
to
to see what's
Kyle
been open.
because-
But in 5
really
years,
enjoy that.
Bull, have you and I ever had a fight? I don't think we ever had. Have we?
there's plenty of shit that you do that kind of annoys me.
Well, and
but
vice
no.
versa. Have you met yourself?
You know what that means? You know what that means? The longer a couple goes before their first fight, it's
That's true.
going to be really bad when it does.
You know what happened with me and Kyle? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, but but Bull and I would talk stuff. We're not going to agree on everything. We annoy each other a little bit. That's what love is actually about.
Yeah. Well, in the show, every
But I'll
one
give
of
you-
us
I'll
has
still
had
get
a
a kidney
moment
for
where
You need a kidney, Bull. It's yours. Yours.
Are you A positive?
I actually am. I think I'm A positive, A negative. I don't remember. Fuck.
I've
Whatever.
had moments where I've gotten pissy at the shows,
I think I'm A positive.
like kind of behind the scenes during a stream a couple times, and we're all still friends.
Yeah, every one of us has had a moment with one or a few or whatever. There's always going to be in a group of people those moments, but it's the same as, let's say you're dating somebody who's attractive and, somebody checks them out. You can either be all, or you can go, yeah, but that's mine, baby. You know what I mean? Like
Do you know what I'm going to be doing in Texas? I told Sweet to make sure she has a really skimpy black dress. Because I'm like, I want everybody to do that. I'm not one of those guys that says, hey, you can't look at the girl I'm with. I'm like, hey, see this? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm touching this.
Yeah.
You're not. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. I don't get the guys that can't understand that side of it. Because somebody's basically saying, well done, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem?
Yeah,
What's
and
the
by
problem?
the way, if she's flattered by it and she's like, makes it he'll feel good about it, then whose else's business is it? And I like making Sweet Heathen feel good. And I don't mean that sexually. I mean, I like
No.
I mean,
And the flip side of it is you could be a guy in a band that is signed to a label that supports neo-Nazis and married to a stick.
right? And oh my god, did I not have the fucking woke warriors coming over going, oh my god, did you just objectify the girl you're dating? I'm like, not really, but if I did, who the fuck cares? She actually doesn't mind it. But anyways, it was like
who are you?
gonna white knight for
to
her because she
define
actually
our
liked it and said
relationship?
thank you.
There is no right to not be offended.
But the woke warriors always think that they're gonna be offended on behalf of somebody else. You can't objectify
fuck
women.
off.
I'm not. That wasn't even the point. That wasn't even the point of the meme, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a really great point, Taddy, that no one has a right to be offended. It's not a right, and the world is offensive. You kind of need to deal with it.
Right?
The
Hey, look, we all
world
have
is
dark
a
sense of humor here. I think that all the shills have to
If
have dark sense of humor.
anything, you don't have the right to not be offended. There's going to be things in this place that piss you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I had to get consent to touch her goddamn arm. I'm like, can I touch this? She's like, only in this one little area.
That's
I'm
what
like,
she
okay.
said here.
She's like,
I've
nothing
only
above, she's like nothing below. She's like nothing above the weenus. I thought she said something different, but she's like nothing above the weenus. By the way, this is your weenus, people. That's what it's called. Fun fact.
That's a good one.
I like to laugh. I really do. I haven't laughed so much in ages. I got to tell you. There's been so much stress relief because I've watched these people implode. I watched Katie Joy and I watched New Rock just kind of do their own fuckery. And I was upset the other day, but it wasn't because of those two. But I was upset with something else. But I got to tell you, Sweet Heathen, Cheshire, and the Drunken Peasants made me feel so much better. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just,
Nice.
and I feel so much better. Had a couple beers. And I'm good. I'm good. I had people saying, "Are you okay, Steve?" on Facebook. I'm like, "Yeah, let me just work through this," you know. But and I did.
We as a group in the Shills, we had to early on take the stance of, you know what, we're not going to get into any public back and forths, because if we do, not only do we get into them as the Shills, but we also get into them individually, which will pan over onto the channel. And then basically all we'll ever do is answer and respond.
Brilliant.
And so on. And we thought, you know what, it'll never be our own fucking show then. So,
Right?
Yeah, because it's all encompassing. Once you get in there, that's it. It's over. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Dr. Zaya says,
kinda
great
like,
show on Drunken Peasants last night with Jeff. Thank you. And I got it. Like I said, a lot of people liked the show last night. You know what? I got 200 people, and I don't ask this very often, but this is a positive thing. Go to the Drunken Peasants show last night, and if you like the show, comment on it, because there's some trolls that are from that were not fans, I guess, of Nick Fuentes, or excuse me, they were fans of Nick Fuentes, so they kind of downvoted everything. But go to Drunken Peasants, watch their video, like it, and then comment on it and say, you know, we like seeing Steve on the Drunken Peasants, because Ben knows. Ben loves having me on. He messaged me after the show, which I don't think he's ever done, and said, dude, that was a really good episode. And so,
Well, then I think everybody who goes to
I'll
the
find a
Drunken
link for you.
Peasants from here to check them out should make sure you drop a little thing. Hey, Steve McRae sent me over. This was a good one, right?
well, you don't even have to say I sent them over. Just say, you
Absolutely.
know what, we like seeing Steve McRae. There you go. Because if I say they sent them over, then it'd be like, look at Steve's commanding his troops or some shit.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
no, you didn't say it. I did. So fuck all that in a
Okay.
bucket of chicken.
Keyboard. blame Dick. It's always Dick's fault. All right,
Yeah.
so here's the link right there. It's in the live chat. But I'm gonna go call Cheshire and her sister. Sorry, Sweet.
Cool.
I Sweet knows I got a crush on Rachel. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's one of those really sweet, innocent crushes. Okay, don't get all weirded out on me. But she's cool. Yeah. But she
I
wanted
like
to hang
it.
out for a little while. Sweet can hang out with us if she really wants to. I love that, actually. But anyways, guys, you guys are great, man. You guys have always been really kind to me. Even with the whole atheist community kind of, well, it wasn't the whole, but a lot of the atheist community kind of shitting down my windpipe. A lot of them have actually come around to my way of thinking. I think the atheist community as a whole is kind of divided on that. But they weren't even, before it was like 90% against me, now it's like 50-50. But in the entire time, you guys didn't give a shit one way or another. You guys were just cool. And I respect that, man. I really fucking respect that. So when we do get Not Sequitur back and you guys want to come on as, like guest and co-host and things like that, man, we're going to support the fuck out of you. And I know Bullinator's doing your guys' stuff, and he's going to be producing for us as a paid position. And I'm looking forward to 2020, man. Be positive and let these idiots self-implode. Like Katie Joy and Union Rock. I'm not going to do a video for them. That's what they want. They
See
want us
that,
to they play
super chat,
defense.
Steve?
Fuck that shit. Helios, $575, $2. Steve is a serious. Steve is a serial weenus toucher.
Get that weenus up there and touch it.
Well, I don't know where to go from there, man. Weenus touching 101. There you go. So I guess last words. You know what, Amy? Since you set this up, why don't you give us her last words and you speak for the Shills here, where to find you guys, and link in the video description. But take us out, girl.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, everyone. Please come visit us on the Shills. We'd love to have you. We have shows every Friday and Saturday, and we're hoping to have more very soon. So please come and visit us and sub and like and all that fun stuff. Thank you. And thank you very much, Steve, for having us on.
And thank you for arranging this very smooth. Again, I like the fact when I don't have to sit there and hunt things down and boom, you guys are great. It's really great. I keep that up because people notice that when you because you know what's worse when you book a guest and they don't show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh, dude, we know.
Oh yeah.
All right. So tomorrow, join Cheshire and I on Caffeine Corner tomorrow when we do the Big C tomorrow. So, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so
Everybody
much.
wave. You guys aren't even on camera, and it's like the only person here that has a face. What the fuck?